Go ahead,
No.
Mr. Steve.
All right. Good morning. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Dowry, sir, and I have the pleasure of serving as receiver for the city of Chester. Today is Tuesday, March 12th, 2024, and we are gathered here for the Municipal Financial Recovery Advisory Committee meeting, MFRAC for short. On behalf of the city of Chester, joined by Mayor Roots. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And I'm always questioning the proper protocol. On behalf of the governor's office, we are joined by Deputy Director of DCV, Mr. Andrew Sheep. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
And on behalf of Delaware County Council, we are joined by Ms. Kelly Diaz. Good afternoon. I heard you. And as always, Executive Assistant on loan from DCD, Cody Dill, and Chief of Staff on this engagement, Mr. Vijay Kapoor. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, so we'll jump right in, and I'll kill any mystery on the front end and say that we do not have an exciting MFRAC planned for this week. It's just more of a formality to get together and provide the opportunity for the committee to share any questions, feedback, anything that you may have for us. So we'll walk through the agenda, starting with public comment. Mr. Dill, did we receive any public comments since our last meeting?
We have not received any public comments. So again, would just like to encourage the public to reach out to us for anything that you think this committee should be aware of or discuss. Please email us directly at info@chesterreceivership.com or through our social media channels or our website as well. There are links on there to send us mail also. Again, the email address is info@chesterreceivership.com. Did just want to add one other comment too. We're going to be airing these MFRAC committee meetings on the local news station. I believe they call it Channel 5 in the city. So recordings of these will also be played on a loop on that channel as well. So those of you who do not view them online will be able to view them through that method soon as well. Thank you.
Right. And I kind of understood one of the comments shared at the last city council meeting. We're putting that notice out online about other opportunities offline. So maybe we'll find some other avenues or methods to distribute that information, but more information is there to be shared, right? And transparency is our goal, and want everybody engaged and informed. All right, so wrapping up public comment, we'll jump into general updates. Mr. Kapoor, do you have any updates on the receivership effort?
Yeah, Mr. Receiver, good afternoon. Good afternoon to members of the committee. You know, as you said, this is kind of what I would refer to as kind of more of a quiet week, not necessarily because work isn't being done, but just because we don't have one specific item that really kind of rises to the attention of this committee. So, we continue to implement the recovery plan. The plan modification based on the Supreme Court decision. So those projects are continuing to go on in the city, and also with respect to bankruptcy, the mediation process is ongoing. It is active, even though folks may not be hearing a lot about it. Also, again, as I remind everybody, it's confidential, so we can say very little about it, other than it is ongoing, and we continue to try and work together towards hopefully a consensus agreement. But that's really the only update I have for the committee today.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor. Are there any questions from the committee for Mr. Kapoor or myself? Well, hearing or seeing none, I'll add just a general update from my end as well, as to continue to encourage folks to visit the city's website to view the job postings. I think as of the last vacancy report, February headcount report, there were upwards of 56 budgeted positions that were not filled in the city. Some of them are new with the 24 budget, and some of them are just reoccurring, always actively looking for police officers, crossing guards, and the like, laborers and the like. But there are some critical positions that are still open. Director of Community and Economic Development, HR Director. I know those interviews are active, but still ongoing. And city planner and some others. So really encouraging folks to continue to spread the word, and we need to recruit. The city definitely has work to be done, but many hands make light work, or in this case, get it to the point where the city is able to deliver the critical needs we can't do that without first having the human capital. So that is the only really the update I wanted to speak to today and keep it the focus. Are there any questions before we open it up? Or matter of fact, we'll just do that. Let's open it up to the committee for any comments or general dialogue. Just open it up to the floor. Mayor Roots, I think you're still on mute.
Okay, thank you. Just had a coughing episode here. Something went down the wrong pipe, but just have a little short update. What's gone on in the last couple of weeks here from my desk. Whew. Excuse me. The most exciting thing that happened last week was a visit from a couple high-ranking state officials. We had Rick Seiger from the Department of Community and Economic Development. He's the secretary, so in terms of positions, that's the top guy at DCED. He was joined by Danielle Okai. I hope I pronounced that right. She's the deputy of economic development for the governor. So the two of them, myself, took a tour around Chester to look at assets and opportunities. And in a nutshell, I'll say that one of the areas that we really did focus on was Avenue of the States. DCED and the governor in particular are working together on Main Street programs across the state, of which our Avenue of the States is our Main Street. I know they were in town to visit Philadelphia, and I think even provide some funding up in the Fishtown area. And that's what we're becoming, like a renovated downtown area. It's just so exciting to see as we come down from I-95. There's Edgemont Avenue that goes past Deschamps Park that crosses 9th Street. We call that, at least I call it, the gateway to the city. As we come down Avenue of the States, we have our business district, or Overtown as we like to call it. Those last couple blocks, our artist community has done a great job renovating and bringing life to that area. That really excited the two of them when they saw the effort that we're just organically putting forth. And I really anticipate that they're going to be really open to see what ideas that we have to kind of finish off the look and feel of what we want to become. The fact that it dead ends right at City Hall just makes it a prime location, for the city of Chester to reimagine as a destination for Chester. If Chester was a baseball field, I say, Avenue of the States is our home plate, where things start and things end. It all comes back to our business district. So looking forward to further conversations with them and meetings with them. A couple more exciting things went on in this past week, and that is money is flowing into the city in the form of grants. In no particular order, I'm just going to throw out some numbers and where they came from. The U.S. Department of Transportation has granted work to be done as far as planning and engineering. What they granted was $2.5 million for work to be done on the corridor, better known as Route 291, or the old 2nd Street. It's always an area that has seen far too many accidents. I saw one study that said since 2017, I believe, there had been 290 accidents on 291, and that's far too many. This grant goes specifically to the county's planning department. So they're putting the work in to redesign or to come up with some redesigns for 291. It has a couple terms, traffic calming, or what's the other term they're calling it? A traffic diet. And it's an effort to, number one, slow traffic down. Number two, give those who live on 291 an opportunity to get in and out their cars without having to duck traffic. And number three, make it a whole lot safer to get on and off of 291 from the city side. Many of us know that left turns from the city side on 291, where you have to cross over 2 lanes, can be pretty dangerous because of trees, because of the way cars are parked. The line of vision isn't that great. There's another effort to bring a traffic light right there on Jeffrey Street, where the traffic comes off of the off ramp of the Commodore Barry Bridge that has also been a hot spot. That's a separate grant opportunity that's looking for some matching, but I imagine that's going to be done pretty soon. The second grant that came in, it goes by a couple names, community benefit, no, not that one. The was it $1.5 million for electric vehicles? I don't know if this has gotten a lot of attention, but maybe because they're dump trucks, a couple dump trucks and a trash truck has been granted to the city of Chester, which also comes with the charging station. These trucks haven't been ordered. We're still trying to figure out, what's the right thing to buy as the money becomes available. I will say that we had a great conversation with Covanta yesterday. They were in the office and they're going to help us determine the right size truck to get, because the last thing we want to do is get a truck that's too big or not equipped for the challenges we have picking up trash in the city. But really looking forward to retiring that old yellow truck that you see going around town that sorely needs to be retired. One other grant that has come in recently is North Street. So a trail system is coming through Chester, a couple trails, and right there around the Subaru Park, where, let's say off of 291, you can come in at Norse, walk the trail across the river or down the river across the Philadelphia Union property and end up on Highland Avenue and then back up to 291. So $1.3 million has come in for the North Street portion of that. A little earlier, I guess last year, 2023, the same amount of dollars was granted to the city for the Highland Avenue part of that. So within the next couple of years, we'll have a finished product where that whole area between North Street and Highland Avenue will be a very beautiful, well-appointed, manicured trail that will allow people who just walk the riverfront right now, and that's the only finished portion, to really probably get in. If you do the whole circuit, I'd say it's maybe a 2.5 mile good little walk. So we love our trails here in the city. Workforce development is still my a big objective of mine, personally here. And I can say we had one success this year already, and it happened at this little company right on 10th and Morton, on Morton Street, right off of 10th. It's the Industry Coffee Works, I think is its official name. Met the owner, took a tour. These guys make Melita coffee. I think I'm saying that right. It's a pretty familiar brand in the red can. They put out 35,000 cans a week out of that little operation. And in taking the tour, as I was leaving, he said he was looking for 2 people to employ. And I just happened to see a resume come across my desk that we didn't have an opportunity for that person here in City Hall right away, but it matched the skills of what he wanted over at Industry Coffee. And within about 3 or 4 weeks, the parent company approved the hire. So we have an individual, just because of a association between me and the business owner, hired here in the city of Chester. I'm looking to replicate that many, many times over. Our association with local businesses isn't the strongest here in the city. So as the weather gets warmer, I think it's supposed to hit 70 degrees a day. I'm really looking forward to walking up and down city streets and down at the waterfront, shaking hands, giving out cards, and really finding out what's going on. And make no bones about it, I want to see the people who run these businesses consider Chester talent to hire or for volunteer operations or even internships. We often say that, not enough people in Chester work in the city of Chester, but it's not because there's a shortage of jobs in Chester. A lot of these companies come with their own people, and they're, traveling in from outside of the city, not even recognizing or having a connection to the resources here. So to the extent that I can, and working with organizations, around the city, workforce development is going to be a big effort. So those are my updates for today. I don't think I have anything else on my notes here, but thanks for the opportunity.
Certainly, Mayor, and thank you for sharing the good news. So much of my job focuses on trying to write things that sometimes we overlook, just the sunshine, as you put it. Does anyone have any questions for the mayor? All right. Well, thank you for taking the time out to meet with us here today. We will resume on March 26th at 1 p.m. Unless especially convened. Thank you for your time and have a good day.